Well, thank you so much for all of you for coming here. And of course, this would not be our beloved Alberta if a simple press conference would not start with the Gestapo chasing us away. I mean, sometimes I am out of words. Sometimes I don't know what to say because we have fallen so far away from the concept of democracy, the concept of rights for citizens, that I just simply do not know where to start. I have a press release regarding the recent attack on our rights by the very man that does not believe in democracy, Tyler Shandro. And his Gestapo, of course, as you witnessed, follows the orders. And didn't we hear this for so long after the Second War? I'm just following orders. I'm just following what I'm told. I just want to keep my job. I have children. I have mortgage. What do you want from me? I was told to do this. I'm sick and tired of that. I'm sick and tired of lawlessness. The past 3 years have shocked the democratic world. Government hypocrisy, lies and double standards by those that locked down and terrorized our society. One law for the bureaucrats and a totally different one for the rest of us. Prosecution of political opponents, destruction of our economy, and a total disregard for law and order. This has showed us that the elected politicians are not serving us, the citizens anymore, but some sick globalist beast that wants us to own nothing, eat crickets, and be happy. The UCP had a clear mandate to protect our interests, defend charter rights, and to listen to the wishes of the people who elected them. They failed us all. They betrayed us all. They must go. While we all thought that the worst is behind us and we can move on with rebuilding what has been destroyed by them, the UCP tyrants show no sign of stopping the witch hunt of the truckers and farmers. Not only truckers and farmers, but all Albertans who stood for their rights and freedoms. And one of the worst hypocrites is the very man that broke the mandates that thousands of law-abiding Albertans are still hunted for. His name is Tyler Shandro. The very same man that sent the modern-day Gestapo to shut down our restaurants, churches and schools when he was the Minister of Health, that partied at the Sky Palace. Hypocrisy. Believe it or not, he was greatly rewarded for his willingness to oppress Albertans by corrupt Kenny and was promoted to Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of Alberta. He is now the Minister of Injustice. If their atrocities were not enough, now they have upped their evil game. They have just criminally charged more people for simply defending their loved ones. Marco van Hugenbos was a freedom organizer, as well as Alex van Herk and George Jansen. Each face a count of mischief over 5,000. Prosecutor Stephen Johnson is pursuing a conviction on that charge, which carries with it a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Stephen Johnston is the same Crown prosecutor that accused me of destroying Canadian economy worth $400 million. He is the same pathological liar that said that I abandoned the people after I incited violence for the people to commit acts of violence. When 3 times during my church service in Coutts, I told people peacefully, no guns, no swords. This is the same man that could not even do the background check, accused me of entering a luxury BMW, saying that it's my vehicle and I abandoned people to go. And of course, it's nonsense. It's a lie. It's a made-up story to keep every opposition and any opposition in prison. Nazi style, communist KGB style. And they are using, unfortunately, useful idiots like those guys here that do not know what they're doing, just following orders. They emigrated here just like me to a free and democratic country that stands on the rule of law. And here, they are breaking it just because some corrupted, evil psychopath, Tyler Shandro, tells them to do. The same with RCMP. In a written release, RCMP called the 3 men key participants of the Coutts border blockade, which took place between January 29 and February 15. The 3 are doing court on October 4th. Police allege the 3 were key participants of the blockade, which limited traffic flow across the Canada-US border from January 29, like I said, to February 15. In March, Fort Macleod Town Councillor Marco van Hugenbos was reprimanded by Fort Macleod Mayor Brent Fater and described his involvement in a freedom rally as, listen to this, unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable behavior. In a letter posted to the town's website, Fater expressed grave concerns about Van Hugenbos's role as a freedom organizer. Fater added that Van Hugenbos has a duty to act in good faith and in the best interests of Fort Macleod at all times. He went on to say that unacceptable behavior may result in further sanction. That reminds me growing up behind the Iron Curtain. If you did not play the party line, you were subjected to discrimination, imprisonment, charges. I hope we as the party, the Independence Party of Alberta, we hope that Marco replaces this Trudeau wannabe tyrant as the next Fort Macleod mayor. If convicted, the conviction would be reviewed to determine if the member of council, Marco, can continue to serve, wrote the mayor. Christopher Lasek, Anthony Oleinik, Jerry Morin, and Chris Carbert, Alberta men who stood up for the rights and freedoms of the people of Alberta, they are now Alberta political prisoners. When I emigrated to this country, I would never imagine that what I faced growing up behind the Iron Curtain under the boots of the Soviets is going to happen once again here in our beloved Canada. And I know there are thousands upon thousands of Canadians that are feeling the same way. They came here for rights and freedoms. And those people here, those Tylers, Shandros of today, the wannabe Nazis and Gestapo, are doing everything in their power to stop us from simply living our lives in peace. They were denied bail. They remain unjustly held behind bars, rather than being at home with their families. Rapists, at the same time, murderers, thieves, are released on bail and are in their homes. That's justice according to Shandro and his minions. Those that oppose tyrants are still behind bars. And that, my friends, is unacceptable. To this day, I am subjected to 4 more trials simply for doing my job as a pastor, for feeding the poor, for keeping the church's door open, for telling people that there is hope in Christ, for telling people to stand up for God and state-given rights. I am facing a terrorism charge because the pathological liars of today, the UCP government, including their boss, Jason Kenney, publicly stated that I incited people to commit acts of violence, while 3 times I told people peacefully. If you agree with us, with the Independence Party of Alberta, the only party that promises you a referendum on independence within the first year, if you agree with these freedom lovers that they should be released, please sign our petition online. Go to the website, abindependence.com, arturpawlowski.ca, and you can sign the petition that those prisoners, political prisoners, should be released and are to be released. We, as a party, we need to be different. We are different. The Independence Party of Alberta will always advocate and defend the rights, freedoms, and dignity of all Albertans. We demand fair and due process for all people in Alberta. When elected, the Alberta Independence Party will conduct a real and unbiased investigation regarding the COVID situation and the prosecution of those that simply asked questions or stood on their God and state-given rights. The Independence Party of Alberta, Alberta husbands, wives, sisters, brothers, sons and daughters, stand with our fellow Albertans, those who have been victims of an abusive and tyrannical government. God bless Alberta. And together, let's bring this land, our land, back to the law and order. Be blessed. Thank you for listening. Good. How are you, sir?
Good, thanks. Who's in charge here?
It's a press conference.
Okay. Have you guys organized anything, or is this just... that's it.
Press conference, that's it. We are done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
It was just press conference.
10 minutes. Okay, so you guys are just packing up and going?
Yeah.
Oh, beauty. Yeah. Really, that's all they wanted, so...
We wanted to do it in front of our elected official, but they said we cannot, so we moved here.
Okay. You guys are done. You guys are packing up?
We're going.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks.
Okay.
Guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they misunderstand the law, right? I think they misunderstand the law, these guys. They're not sure although there's public to it, when there's public access, then the public's allowed to go on the property. So they don't quite understand that. So I think they misunderstood. That's why they were calling you guys or something.
Okay.
Wasting your
Yeah,
time.
fair enough. I mean, we're just here to keep the peace, right?
Of course.
Obviously, where it becomes an issue is if you're starting to impinge on like public access to building or causing any kind of issue that way. But I mean, you guys have been good to deal with me, so I got no issue. And like you said, you guys are wrapping up.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, fellas.